Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back again in another entertaining and beautiful video. In our video of today, we talk about phrasal verbs. I keep insisting on phrasal verbs because I'm kind of insisting on phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs are the bread and butter of English. I mean, there are countless of scenarios and countless of examples where I can name situations where native speakers have told me that if you master phrasal verbs, you kind of like hold language from its horns. Phrasal verbs are the bread and butter of English. And I've been shooting so many video tutorials and episodes on phrasal verbs since the beginning of this channel. I recommend you check them out. They are down in the link for my YouTube channel. Phrasal verbs are verbs, actually, but there are certain particles that are added to phrasal verbs to give them flexibility of referring to something a little bit different. They represent the basic meaning indication in the sentence. So, probably I am not exaggerating if I say that you can understand everything in English. Probably it's going to be a little bit exaggeration to say, but English without verbs is probably not English. Verbs are the chassis of English sentences, so keep that in mind. We're just chatting about some of the most common phrasal verbs. We will continue talking about phrasal verbs in this episode. I'll be chatting, and while I'm chatting, I'm integrating some of the common phrasal verbs here. Now we're just adding up to the list of phrasal verbs here, and they will show in the screen here or here. I don't know. It depends on the editor. And you will just see the meaning. What I want you to do is just take notes of these phrasal verbs and try to use them. The more you incorporate and add them up to your English, the better your chances of becoming a good speaker are. So let's get started. Yesterday, I was surprised. I was taken back by the news that two of my friends got married and they did not invite me. I was taken back. And I was taken back was because I was not up yet when they announced that on Facebook. I was up for some entertaining adventure with my friends. We decided to climb a big mountain in the north of Iraq. Most of our adventures will be depending on one of my friend's decisions. My friend Ahmed will bear on the decision to be going or not going. But since he is my friend, I will bear with him. I will bear with him. I'll be patient with him because he is my friend and I don't want to lose him. They're my friends since as far as I could remember. We've been together, hanging out, going on adventures, and exploring the country. And when we make plans, we always beef up these plans before we decide to execute these plans. We beef up these plans because we don't want to make a wrong decision about the places that we plan to go to. I remember in one of the adventures, we were all together in the car, and all of a sudden, my friend Abbas just blacked out, and he was unconscious. And we were in the middle of nowhere. And when he woke up, he said, "I am sorry, I don't know what happened. I blanked out and I don't remember anything." So we told him the story of what happened. And then later on, we booked in one of the hotels in Erbil. We stayed there for a couple of days and then we booked out of that hotel. But you know, when you travel with your friends, one of your friends would like to boss around and show his authority and show that he has control over others. So, this is something that I recommend you don't do. If you hang out with your friends, you should always be flexible and try to catch up with everything that you plan to do, because this is the way you can enjoy a very good amount of time together and keep it for memories. One of my friends is actually a businessman, and he has a restaurant franchise, and he always plans to branch out to other provinces so that he can reach out to as many customers and clients as possible. He used to work in one of the big banks in Iraq. We call it the TBI, or Trade Bank of Iraq. And when he started to have his own business, he made a breakthrough in the field of his work because he invented something in marketing that nobody else has ever presented before. So we always bring back this kind of decision, the hard decision that he made, because that was a tough decision and one of the turning points in his life. He's always bringing forward lots of activities that probably can be attributed to him because he is a very good proactive person. He brings out new ideas in every meeting that we have. He reads a lot of books. He's a bookworm and he shares these ideas with us. But he has a big family and he has 4 children, so he's having difficult time bringing them up. He always wants to build up his company from ground and has independent and sustainable business model for people to follow. But sometimes he feels burnt out because he excessively focus on his work and his commitment, and that leads him to a kind of feeling less motivated and less enthusiast to carry on with his business model. But most of the time, we give him a backup in case he needs any kind of help. And we always tell him we are ready for the call. So whenever you feel that you want to share some of your thoughts with us, we are all ready and we are all ears. Sometimes he calls us on the phone, but sometimes we plan to have a meeting, but the meeting is called off because of his commitments. We care for him and we care for his family and we care for each of us. And this is something that you can absolutely do in case you need to have persistent and supporting friends. This was a list of phrasal verbs that I shared while I was talking about one of my friends and our trip to north of Iraq. I hope it is useful to you to learn some of these expressions and use them in your daily English. Enjoy your day. ربي يحفظكم. مدرب لغة الوليد خالد.